Welcome to this new Visual Basic lesson. In today's lesson, we will cover the topic of option statement in Visual Basic. Visual Basic offers the following option statement. We have the implicit, explicit, strict, compare, and infer statements. And all of these statements, as you can see from this slide, they have two modes, on or off. Visual Basic Compiler requires that a programmer should declare every variable before he starts to use it. This is referred to as explicit declaration. The default value of explicit statement is on, and you should never change the setting. In the other hand, we have the option implicit, and basically when this option is on, Visual Basic will run undeclared variable name, and it creates a temporary local variable and gives it the object type, which is a generic data type that accepts all other data types. It is very poor programming practice to implicitly declare variables because it can cause errors and it can crash the entire program. The option strict indicates whether all variables will be of a specific type. Off is the default of option strict, and when you turn the option strict on, basically the compiler restricts implicit type conversion, as we will see in our examples. Now, the compare option declares the default comparison method to use when comparing string data. Option infer indicates whether the compiler should determine the type of a variable from its value. In today's lesson, we will talk about the implicit, explicit, and strict option statement. Let's go to Visual Studio and start working. I have Visual Studio Community 2015 open. I'm gonna start a new project. Click on Windows Forms application, and I'm gonna call it statement underscore option. Okay, and I'm just gonna click OK. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna grab a button control, okay, come to the text and say click, just like that. I'm gonna go to the name and change it to btn click. Okay, I'm gonna double click on the button control to create a click event, and here we are going to talk about the option explicit. So when the option explicit is on, the programmer must explicitly declare all variables by using the keyword dim. So then say I as integer. This is explicit declaration of the variable I. All right. Now, if this option is off, if the option explicit is off, Visual Basic will allow the implicit declaration of variable. So basically the programmer would write something like this. City name equals Boca Raton. Alright. Now we have this squiggly red line on the bottom that says that the city name is not declared. But let's see how we can make this red line go away. Basically, to access the option explicit, all you need to do is come here, go to options, then scroll down, I believe under projects and solution, you choose VB defaults, And here I have the option explicit on. It's on by default, and this is the option strict. It's off by default, and we will change that soon. And these are the other options that I told you about in the beginning of the video. So I'm gonna turn this off and click OK. As you can see, I still see a red line, and that is because option explicit is still on at the project level. To turn that off, I'm gonna come here, double click on my project, come to compile, and look for option explicit, which is right here, and turn it off. I'm gonna save, close this, and let me click here, and it's gone. As you can see, I didn't declare city name. I just assigned the value Boca Raton to city name. As you can see, Visual Basic already assigned a data type for it, and it is an object. As you can see, as object, city name as object. Basically, what it did here, it gave you this data type that you can throw anything in it. Basically, you can throw anything in this data type object. You can throw an integer there, a string, a double, whatever it is. This is very bad programming practice. All right, so I'm gonna now say message box. All right, message box that show, and I'm gonna say city name, and as you see, it will accept it, and I can run the project without any error. Here I'm gonna click, and you will see a message box, Boca Raton. That's really bad programming practice. You should never do that. You should always keep your option explicit on at both level, here at the application or the project level. So I'm gonna come here and make sure that it's on for future projects, and I'm gonna click OK. Now you see it's telling me that it is not declared. I'm gonna declare it as a string. Sorry, declare city name. That's what I meant. And I'm gonna. All right. This is option explicit. All right. Now we explicitly declared city name, but earlier when we did not write the dim city name as string, it was implicitly declared, and basically we let Visual Basic deal with it, and that is very poor programming, as we said earlier. Now, when it comes to option strict, let's do this. Let's come here. All right, make this like that. Bring a text box. All right, put it here. This one here, and let's put a label. All right, and we're gonna call this label LBL output. Okay, sorry, here this one has to be capital. Output, yes. And what I'm going to do here for the label, all right, I'm gonna come here and to the border and say fixed single border, so that I give it a border, or otherwise when I delete the text it will disappear and it's sometimes hard to find it. And what I'm gonna do also here, I'm gonna find I believe the size here, auto size, yes, right here, and say false, and here I have it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna remove the text. All right, and now you can see it. That's my label. I'm gonna click on the text box, press Ctrl C, Control V to copy and paste. I'll bring it higher. Right, I'll take this one a little higher. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. I'm just gonna bring it here, go to the text and type plus sign. Okay, I am going to take this one and go like that. Okay, and go to the border and remove the border, sign on. Okay, bring this higher a little bit. Okay, this one here, I'm gonna call it txt input 1, txt input 1. Okay, and this one I'm gonna call it txt input 2. All right, come here, let's go like that, and I'm gonna go back to my code, remove this, and I'm gonna say dim I as integer equals me that, let's find the txt input 1 dot text. All right, and now I'm gonna add another variable, dim x as integer equals me that txt. Me refers to the form, to that text, and I'm gonna say dim r as result, as integer, sorry, r is my result, equals I plus x. Okay, then I'm going to say me that lbl output that text equals r. Okay, basically what I did here, I assigned the whatever the user types in text box 1 here, whatever he types is going to be assigned to the integer I, and whatever the user types in text box 2 here, it's going to be assigned to the integer x. Then here I added I plus x, and the result I assigned it to the variable r. Then the output r, it's going to be displayed in the lbl output.text, as simple as that. All right, let's run this code. All right, let's type 10, 5, and let's see how much it is. 15. Good. Let's see if it works. If I do this, 9, 3 plus 3, it's 12, and it's correct. All right, it worked. But is this correct? The answer is no. This is not the right way to do it. Let's go back here and go to option strict and turn it on, and let's see if we see any problems. Save, and here we have problems. Here, as you can see, there are actually some problems here, and that is because in programming, the data type that you declare here should be similar to whatever is here. So whatever is on the left hand side, the data type that is in the left hand side should be similar to the data type that is on the right hand side, or otherwise you're gonna have an error. Okay, how to fix this? This is what we are going to talk about right now, and let's go back to our Google Slides and look at our presentation from last lesson. As you recall from previous lesson, we said that we have two main categories of data types. We have the primitive data type or the built-in data type, then we have the non-primitive data type, and that is the data type that is defined by the programmer, which is called user-defined data type. Now, the primitive data type itself is divided into three subcategories. We have the numeric data type, as you see here. Then we have the character data type. Then lastly, we have the miscellaneous data type. Let's go back to the first slide. Know that objects of one type can be converted into objects of another type. This is referred to as casting, meaning we are going to reinterpret a type as if it had always been of the other type. We have two types of casting: narrowing and widening. A widening cast is one in which conversion is to a type that can accommodate every possible value in the existing variable type. For instance, an integer can accommodate every possible value held by a short, and therefore casting from a short to an integer is a widening conversion. A narrowing cast is one in which the conversion to a type that may not be able to accommodate every possible value in the existing variable type. For instance, a short can accommodate only some of the values that an integer variable might hold, and therefore casting from integer to a short is a narrowing conversion. The same applies for the other primitive data types, such as the character data type. So converting from a character to a string is considered a widening conversion, and converting from a string to a character is considered a narrowing conversion. Let's go back to this slide. There are two considerations when converting a value from a data type to another. Number one, magnitude, and number two, precision. An error occurs when the converted value does not fit in the target type. A loss of precision may occur when converting a non-integral data type to an integral data type. For instance, when you convert a double or a decimal to an integer, some accuracy is lost. The decimal digit must be truncated, and in this case there will be no loss of information, but you will lose accuracy or precision. Now the question that one might ask: can we convert numbers to string? Basically, can we convert numeric data to character data? And the answer is yes. And you can also include formatting symbols such as currency signs and other symbols. And you can also convert strings to numbers. You can convert the digits in a string to a number, as long as the content of the string can be interpreted as a valid value of the destination data type. Okay, let's go back to Visual Studio and try a few examples. Okay, I'm back to Visual Studio. As you can see, this is our application here, and it's got these squiggly red lines because of the error. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna comment this out for now. I will come back to it later. Then I'm gonna come here, or maybe go to the design view and make this a little bigger. I'm gonna grab a button and say convert, and go to the name, because I'm gonna use it in my code. I'm gonna say btn convert. Convert, that's good. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna grab a list box, which is right here, and we will work with list box control in the future lessons. But for now, just watch and don't worry about too much about the list box. Okay, to make it simple, I'm gonna keep the name list box 1. Okay, I'm gonna double click here, and start working with the following. So first example, we're gonna give an example of widening conversion, and here I'm gonna convert an integer to a double. So I'm gonna say dim I as integer equals 200 or maybe 300, it's fine. Then dim maybe letter B as double. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna say B, which is the double, equals cdbl. This is the function that we use to convert to a double, and I'm gonna say here I. Okay, basically what I did here, I converted I, the value of I, which is an integer, to a double. Okay, now I'm gonna say list box 1, it's down there, that items dot add, and I'm gonna say B. Okay, why B? Because B now holds the value of the integer. Okay, so let's see if this is an integer. Okay, I'm gonna come here, click, and it is an integer. Basically, when you convert from an integer to a double, you will not lose information and you will not lose accuracy as well, because it's a widening conversion, as we learned earlier. Now let's do a narrowing conversion. Let's see how. And we're gonna say dim x as double equals 5.7. Then we're gonna dim y as integer equals cntx. All right, this time I did the conversion in the same line. You can do it this way or this way. I'm showing you both ways. All right, basically now I'm converting the x value, which is given the data type of double, to an integer. All right, let's put this in the list box. So I'm gonna come here and say me that list box 1 that items that add, and I'm gonna put y, because why? Because we converted x and we gave it the value of y. Okay, let's see how x will appear to us now in the list box. I'm gonna save, I'm gonna click start, I'm gonna say it's 6, it's not 5.7. See, 6. Let's do this. Let's make it 5.4. And if we run the program, click, it's 5 now. It's not 5.4, it's 5, and earlier it was 6. That is the risk that you take when you do narrowing conversion. You will lose precision, you will lose accuracy. All right, let's do this. Let's do another narrowing conversion. And this time we're gonna do it with the character data type. So let's say this. Let's say dim s as string equals hello world. All right, now let's do dim st as char equals char. That's the conversion for char, and we're gonna put there s, the string s. All right, and we're gonna access our list box again. I'm gonna do me to, that's to refer to the form, that list box 1 that items that add, sorry, and I'm gonna say here st. All right, so let's save and run the program, and let's see what we will have as a result. H You see, from hello world we only got the letter H, because as you remember, the character type only holds one value. So that's the, again, the risk that you take when you convert from a string to a character, when you do narrowing conversion. That's why you always have to be aware of the magnitude and the precision when you convert from a data type to another. Alright, let's now convert from a string to a number. Basically, we're converting from character data type to numeric data type. Let's do this. Convert the string to a number. Alright, let's do this. Let's say dim my string as string equals 12. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, believe it or not, this 12, the computer doesn't look at it as a number, but rather the computer looks at it as a character. Okay, as long as you say string, the computer looks at this here, what's inside the double quotes, as a character. Okay, now we're gonna say dim p as integer. Okay, and we're gonna say crt my string. So we're gonna convert the string to a number now. Alright, and let's come here and we do list box 1 dot items dot add, and we're gonna of course say p for the integer, because what we did here, we put the value of the my string, this 12 here, which is a character. Alright, we assigned that to the p integer. Alright, let's see if it works. It's there, 12, but is it a number? Can we do calculation with this? Because if this is a character, you cannot do calculation with it, but if it is a number, you can do calculation with it. The way it is here, you can do calculation with it, but now since it's converted, you can do calculation. Let's try. So let's do times 2. Let's see if it accepts it. Well, it did accept it, meaning it's converted. Let's come here and click, and it's 24, meaning this is in fact an integer now. Now let's convert a number to string. A number to string, alright? Not a string to a number, but a number to a string. Let's do this. We say convert. And by the way, when you want to make comments, I've been making these comments, but I didn't speak to you about it. And when you want to make a comment in Visual Basic, basically all you do is single quote like that and say, and comments are very important in your programming career, because you need to let the other programmers know about your program, and you can also make comments to remind yourself of certain things that you need to do with the program. Okay, so convert a number. Here we converted a string to a number, but now we're going to convert a number to string. A number to string. And let's say dim double as double equals 199.999, and we're gonna say dim str string. Let's call it this time str string as string. Now we're going to convert. Okay, I'm gonna come here and say equals cstr. This is how you convert to string. All right, this is how we convert a number to string, and we say my double. And basically now my double is a string, is no longer a number. Now I'm going to say list box1 dot items dot add, and I'm going to say str string. All right, looks good. All right, and I'm going to save, come to start, bring this here, and let's see. And there it is. It was converted. Let's concatenate this to prove to you that it is a string. So I'm gonna do str string, all right, equals the, and we're gonna say here this is the converted number, and we're gonna come here and say str string. All right, let's run this. Come here and let's prove that it is in fact a string, not a number anymore, the 199, this number here, and there it is. All right, basically it is now a string, not a number. Okay, I'm gonna close this and I'm gonna go back to my old code and comment this. And the way to solve this problem is to come here and do like this, C and T, and do come here like that, and okay, and I'm gonna do the same here. So C and T, and basically I'm converting what's in the text box to an integer, and here I'm gonna say that to string. Okay, let's see if everything, now it's better, now it's clean. Okay, let's try this. All right, so if I put here 5 and I put here 3, oh, sorry, click the wrong button, 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. Now if I put 9 plus 2, it should give me 11. That's 11, and that is correct. Now it's working perfectly. And let's assume you want to count the how much it cost a family who, for example, want to go to a park such as Disney, for example, and you want to calculate how much it will cost them. So we will use this text box for the number of people, and we will use this text box for the price. Then we will see calculate how much it costs them, then we will display it to the label. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this as integer. Okay, I will say number of people. Okay, I'm just gonna say number of people as integer. Okay, and here I'm gonna say price to pay as decimal. I'm gonna use decimal for the currency. It's always better to use decimal than double. Okay, here instead of saying CINT, I'm gonna say CDEC. All right, for decimal, to convert to decimal. Basically, I'm saying convert to decimal. That's all I'm saying. All right, here we have to change that. So we say CDEC number of people. All right, then we do times price to pay. All right, I still have this error because I need to come here and say dim r as decimal. All right, and now it's gone. Okay, let's first view this. Let's say we have 5 people and the ticket cost 99.97. Let's see how much it's gonna cost them. 499.85. Okay, let's format that. So that is the power of the toString when you convert to string. So we're gonna come here and say double quote C for currency. All right, I'm gonna save everything, come back here. Of course, we have the multiplication of this plus sign. We have the multiplication in our code. It says multiplication here. Just left this plus sign here. Okay, so let's say we have 7 people and the ticket is 99.97 for each, and let's see how much it cost them. Well, it's gonna cost them 699.79 with a dollar sign, as you can see here. That's the dollar sign, that's the formatting. All right, that will do it for this tutorial, and this is how we convert in Visual Basic. I would like to thank you for watching, and you have a good day.